I think he's, as an example, very weak when it comes to achievement. Achievement in 21st century organizational context is about getting things done through other people. Real things done. Not promises, not potentialities, but getting decisions made and executed. A single person at the head of an organization, whether it is a factory, whether it is a huge company, whether it is a city council, a single person cannot get much done as a leader. A leader is successful in his or her achievement by getting things done through others. How to get things done through others requires the ability to motivate, to influence, to communicate, in order to get others to make decisions that are in accord with yours, and to hold them accountable for their execution, for their actions. So achievement is about the actions that one can ultimately see. Let's move to the third area. The third area to judge a 21st century leader is the person himself or herself, starting with, and the Gulen Institute says it so well, the high human values of the individual. What are those values? What's meant by values? Throughout life, there are many, many articulations of values. In my former company, it was honesty, integrity, respect for people. If you're from the scouting movement, there's a whole list. If you're from the First Tee movement, there's a whole list of the values that are important. If you are a proponent of a particular religious practice, you know that there are values inherent in what your religion practices. So starting with human values, are they real? Do they matter? And do those values express themselves in the behaviors of the individual? Or is there an inconsistency between the values and the behaviors? Because it's the inconsistencies that cause leaders to fail. There was a worrying moment in this presidential campaign when one thing was said in Scranton and something else was said in San Francisco. And it is terrific that the media picked up on it and that candidate Obama learned a powerful lesson about authenticity and values and behaviors connecting, because a leader can't say one thing in Scranton and something else in San Francisco. A leader has to be consistent in the display of the values that they ascribe to and profess and the behaviors that they practice and perform. And absent those values and behaviors being consistent, something is seriously missing. A second personal quality, and it becomes ever more evident and ever more important, and that is the value of appreciating diversity. In today's world of cultural change, of demographic change, of religious belief change, of all kinds of aspects of what makes people different, whether it's nationality, whether it's color, no matter what it is, the valuing of difference. The valuing of difference distinguishes leaders from those who are not leaders in the 21st century. And so the ability to lead diverse people and to be able to relate to that diversity and to enjoy it, which is a very big difference between talking the talk and walking the walk. Enjoying the diversity, enjoying the differences, because how much richer we are and how much more exciting it is to enjoy the differences we all bring to whatever it is we're doing within an organization or within a country or within a city. And to enjoy that and to reflect that enjoyment onto others is very much a part of 21st century leadership. Another aspect is authenticity. The authenticity that one really does represent himself or herself as they are, transparent as to their strengths and transparent as to their weaknesses. No one's perfect. Not Gandhi, not Martin Luther King, not Nelson Mandela. No one is perfect. But the willingness to acknowledge that in order to demonstrate the authenticity that one represents, I thought it was very interesting when Prime Minister Putin was seen on Western television in his wrestling clothes. That's who he is. He's a wrestler. He loves it. He loves the sport. Taekwondo, I believe it is. He loves Taekwondo, and he's not ashamed to see himself. We all saw more of President-elect Obama than perhaps we wanted to see when he had his vacation in Hawaii. But he was authentic. I'm glad it was him and not me. But the authenticity that one represents, the foods we like, the foods we don't like, and the willingness to speak to what is one's truth, and the ability to acknowledge what is one's shortcomings. And I think that is an important part of what we missed. What we missed, ladies and gentlemen, in the 20th century, and I knew so many CEOs, very well-to-do people, unfortunately some of whom let their wealth go to their head, and they replaced their humanism with the arrogance of their deism, which suggested they were greater than others. CEOs who think that for the rest of their lives they need to fly on private corporate aircraft because they shouldn't travel on commercial aircraft. People who were paid far more than they were worth. People who lost the authenticity of their humanity because they had sufficient wealth surrounding them that they could pretend to be what they were not, greater than their fellow man. And we have paid a huge price in our society for that kind of arrogant greed. Lack of authenticity is what I would refer to it as. Another aspect of the 21st century leader from a personal and human standpoint is the mental model that one takes to work every day. Is the mental model framed solely by the parameters of a single country, a single culture, a single monolithic, a single religious, or a single experience, set of experiences in growing up? Or is that mental model shaped by a recognition, an awareness, and a knowledge, a working knowledge, of other mental models that are out there?